Welcome back to Be the Trader, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Today, I actually want to share with you a whole new series I started working on, and I want to call it Tandem Trading. This is where you get to watch how I'm trading while I'm trading and what I'm thinking in the moment before it even happens. This is not hindsight trading. This isn't, let's do a trade review after it's done. This is while I'm doing it. So I hope you find value in this. If you do, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and comment below what you like. And if there's some things you'd like to see in the future, let me know. All right, so we are getting close to market open. My main watches are KBSF. It's had a lot of failed spikes. If you go back further, failed spikes. We have all these resistance lines. And today I am interested in this 619 level. I think if we go back further too, it's also an area of resistance of interest. At this time, I would like to see it, depending on how it acts up here. If it acts weak and then looks like it's failing, I'll short risking off of this 619 area. But if it looks pretty strong, I'll expect it to bust through and then look for a fail push. There's also a possibility that maybe we get a push to this area right here, the 560s, and fail. If that happens, I may take a starter, risking off this 620 area still. Because that's still, the key area that's of interest. So I'm watching it, I already have shares just in case. So we'll see what happens. I'm also watching E-Man. E-Man is a little different though because it has a failed spike, but it kind of looks like a breakout. Kind of a clean chart until 2s. So I'm a little more iffy on this. I do like how it's trending down and it's under VWAP, but usually for me, when there's stocks under VWAP, it's gonna reclaim and it can squeeze. So I'm gonna look for a pretty good squeeze here. And if I see weakness in the 150s, I'll take a starter, or I'll probably take my size, still risking 165, since that's the high day pre-market, and also this consolidation area. So 2 is an ideal area, but I think E-Man, it's 49 float. It's already traded 7 million shares. SSR is on as well. I will be watching this, but it isn't like my number one setup. My number one setup is CLDX. I mean, this thing is up from 3 to 9. And at this point, if this goes red, I'm going to be shorting pretty big. I say big, but I'm going to be shorting full size at the end of the day. So I'm hoping we get that opportunity. If we do, I'll be risking pretty much $1 a share at first because I feel like it'll be worth the risk. So I'm gonna put an alert on this one because it's definitely possible and I don't want to miss it. So so that's my main watch that I really want to get into, and I'm hoping I get the opportunity to, but we'll see. E-Man, as you guys can tell, I'm not too confident about it. KBSF, it is rotating its float already, which, oh, there it goes, breaking under VWAP already, which sucks, but it's a good sign. I think I will be watching this, definitely, for short. But it also depends. I mean, usually if it holds under VWAP, at the open we'll get a squeeze, and I'll look for, see where the weakness is at. If the weakness is in this 560s, I'll start shorting. Still risking 620s. If the weakness isn't there and it goes, I'm just gonna wait and see what it does up here. So I'm watching it, definitely watching it. E-man, I think ideally I'll probably have to cover down here at the 113s. So I'll take a short up here if I see weakness. KBSF, I'd have to cover, first cover, see the 398 area, $4, and then the second cover in the 3s. And we do have some support here in 420s, 430s. So, I mean, that's important to know. We will see. What I like to see is hold this pre-market and then bounce. And then I would definitely want to wait until open and see if it can bust through and have a failed breakout. CHNR is also another one, but this one's just busting through all these resistance levels. This is resistance levels on the chart. It's just busting through everything. I mean, there's some resistance up here in the 570s. But, I mean, literally, there's like literally no resistance. So CHNR is interesting too, but Zkin is something that I'm watching as well. This one hasn't rotated its float yet. We also just had a top-ish area in the 250s. This is a daily resistance, 238. I think this could be of interest. This could definitely be of interest. I'd want it to pop though. I definitely would want it to pop. E-man, same thing. I'm not going to be watching E-man unless we get a pop. And that pop needs to be above 130 for sure on E-man. And then Zkin, which is this one, I think I'd want it to pop up. I'd want it to be above 235 before I am interested in that. KBSF, I'm not convinced that it's gonna die right here. See the 5-minute, I want it to break above VWAP, I do. I'm not just gonna short it right away. CLDX, I will take a short if I see an open weakness. I will. I mean, just the way it's acting, we're topping out at 10. If I get in at 9s, you know, I will. I'm happy with that. So, Zkin, still plenty of shares available. Yeah, plenty of shares. So that's good. Very good to see. Alright, so I will be getting in KBSF if we get a pop. I will also be getting in CLDX. So we'll see what happens. I think CLDX, if we get if we break 9 on the CLDX, I think I will start shorting. because I think we'll go red. And I'll be risking probably $1 a share. Market's gonna open here soon, so we'll see what happens. I'm also watching KBSF for a bounce. Taking a starter on CLDX. And I'll be risking 10. Unless we start to go red, then I'll start to short even more. Looks like we're going red. And I will be risking $1 a share on this. No problem. If I can get in. Dang it. I didn't get in. It's unfortunate. Okay, so at this time I'm risking pretty much I'd say $1 a share. I'd give it $1 a share. Maybe 950s. But on my small position, I'm already about to be up $1, which is crazy. So we'll see if this works. I have an order out there just in case. I'd look to cover probably in the, for $1 a share, I definitely probably would cover some. This is first red day, so I'm looking for some more further downside. KBSF is downtrending. I'm not going to short that right away. We're getting a pop on E-Man, which is nice. And Z-Can, we're just coming down as well, so can't short that. But E-Man, we're getting a pop. And I like it for it to continue its upward trend. And I can short. CLDX, we're getting a pop now, which is nice. Where I would like to start shorting. I'm probably risking $1 a share right now on CLDX, but I'm okay with that. I'm hoping we can get a pop to the 870s, get my ad, and I'll be pretty much close to full size. I'm not sure if I want to risk high a day, but it may be in the cards. I probably want to risk 10 right now just because the top is in. I believe it's in, and I'm just waiting for something else. KBSF, I'm looking for a pop before I just start shorting this. It's under VWAP. It's already rotated its float, so I'm gonna wait. E-Man is coming down, and you know, it was up quite a bit. Failed the VWAP reclaim and came down, so could, you know, you could potentially short, but I'd have to short up here because 92 cents is where I would be covering, so it's not good risk reward right now, so I won't be shorting that. Z-Kin, I mean, this thing just tanked at the open. Can't really do much about that. I mean, we opened right around here. at $2, breaking this area. Yeah, it's important. But I mean, there's risk all in the 50s. Risk reward isn't there for me. So, just not gonna take it. If we get a bounce, maybe I'd short that area, but it'd be pretty tough for me to do that, to be honest. CHNR is just, there's just no shares of short, so I can't really be watching that. CLDX, we're getting a pop, but I didn't get my entry. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. So now I am definitely interested in just come on, just get a little bit higher and get me in there. It'd be really nice. It's not even testing green. You'd think we get a test, but we're not. I'm gonna keep my order there just in case. I'm hoping we can get executed. I'm not risking green red because it can be choppy, and I'm not risking the 9s. I'm risking the 980s, and if I start to see a top out, then I'll start to readjust my risk. So I need an entry up here before I do anything. The stock still has a lot of room to come down. You can see me covering the 750s, the 7s maybe. So I'm hoping we get that. All right. Well, looking for a bounce to get more size, and I'm hoping it gives it to me. I'm hoping we top out or bottom out down here and then spike, and we may not. Damn it. Well, the good news is it's working right now. I definitely would like it to spike though. So now high day doesn't look too bad to risk because now we're trending. Lower highs, right? Lower lows. I'm hoping we hold this area for a little bit and then bounce. Because we haven't really had a bounce. I mean, we bounced from 810 to 860. That was nice. I was just hoping for a bigger bounce. I may cover my starter right here. Yep. So I just covered my starter because now I'm looking for, you know, just padding the wallet right here. It's $1 a share pretty much. So I wanted to see if we get a pop up here so I can start shorting. Down. Potentially you could build a case to short E-man and risk the previous high up here. If I could get, you know, 120s, it wouldn't be too bad, it just wouldn't be great. ZCAN, not a good opportunity. KBSF, nothing right now. CLDX, I'm looking for a pop. I think we'll get a pop. So I lowered my order. I'm hoping we'll get that. Yeah, you know what? I think I would risk green-red right now. Or at least $9. I mean, $9 makes sense. If we can get a pop, I'm just not sure. Alright, so what I like right now is this is my main watch, so hopefully I can get in. But ZCAN, we're bouncing right off that support, right? We're also coming up to this area of interest, $2. It's up only 30% now. No, I'm not interested in ZCAN. KBSF is just melting away. It's unfortunate, but it definitely is melting away. Had massive volume and then broke this area and was donezo, really. The open was right here and it broke it at the open. Tried to test, hold back over, but couldn't. And then this tank confirmed. Gotta be really quick with these. ZCAN, some kind of idea. CLDX, we're getting a pop. Let's see if we get the pop I'm looking for. I'm hoping we do. I hope we do. You know, on the 5-minute, we just have straight down, so I think still that 916 area is of interest, at least this high a day. That's my risk, so we'll see. Now, if we fail this pop, then I'd be very interested in adding to my position even more. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out the total. Alrighty, this is good to see, but not good because I'm not in it, so. Very interesting though. Exactly what I wanted, just without me. Alright guys, we're getting the pop on E-Man right now, which is nice to see. I'm looking for E-Man. We're getting a pop. I really like this. And we got a halt. So this is nice. Really nice. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to be short right now. Alrighty. So, oh sorry, I've been having the wrong CLDX, here we go. I'm hoping we get a bounce, but we may not, we may not. KBSF though, we are getting a bounce. It's the first bounce. If we can get a bounce to this 430 level, risking 450s, I will take it short. But we had to get up there, and chances of us getting up there are going to be slim. But I hope so. There's no news. We'll see. We will see. Man, this is beautiful if you had full size. You know, granted, you could say you could have risked full size, risking, you know, the 920s, and just size in up here. But I just thought we'd at least have a bounce up here. I had my order, it just didn't get executed. And then I thought we'd at least have another bounce, but these bounces are weak, which is good if you're short. But as you know, I covered, so. But it was a small position. It wasn't even a full size because it was still green. So I wanted to just wait. And I'm glad I took a piece because now I can just be a little bit more patient and wait for it. I say that, but yet I'm sitting here antsy. Okay, so I like this. We had a bothering action, 780s. I'm hoping we get that pop now. We haven't even had a real, we got 770s. We haven't really had a real pop, so I'm hoping we get that.
Even. Last 51.30.
E-Man is popping. It's a straight pop to 150. E-Man I'm very interested in right now because I would like for it to break pre-market and then shove. How many shares are available of this baby? Yeah, there should be some. It's a bigger float. So E-Man I am watching pretty closely right now, actually. Still waiting for that bounce on CLDX. I'll come back. Alright, it looks like we're getting that bounce right now. Hoping I get my execution. We will see if that happens. These are the bounces where you're just sitting here and you're watching and you want to get in sooner, but if I get in at 8, it's not good risk reward. 850 is what I need. Maybe 830, I mean that's what, 60 cents a share. 850 is better. And we haven't had a bounce yet. This is his first attempt to bounce. I'm watching email on the side because if it can, you know, break 150, continue this, and then shove, I'll be interested in shorting this for sure. There's no doubt about that. But right now we're getting that push to the 50s.
CLDX. Last 58.30.
Alright. CLDX, let's see if I get that order filled. I'll put one right there because I'm a little antsy. Put another one right here. So I took some position at 840s. We'll see if I get this order entry. It'd be nice if I can get up in there. VWAP is 850s. Good news is I can possibly get full size if we get a pop, a little bit more of a pop right here, and then if we go a little further I can add. I think we're gonna get my ad, so this is nice. Move it down just a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna keep it at 50. E-Man is popping still. It's going further up, which is good. Remember, I want this to break. I want this to break 165. Really, this is a straight up spike right now. So definitely hope it breaks. If it breaks 150 and has a real hard rejection, it could be a potential. But right now, I'm just watching it. This is my primary watch. We'll see what happens here. Actually hoping that I can get my entry, so we'll see. E-Man struggling in the 150s. Z-Ken barely broke the lows. CH&R is too expensive to borrow, so not a big deal. CTIB, same thing. What a great short though. Only reason I wasn't watching this is because it wasn't easy to borrow. It just was expensive. It was like, I think 70 cents or $1. I'm not gonna spend that much. Still waiting on this one though. I think I paid for shares of KBSF and we're not even playing that. That happens sometimes. I think I'm gonna get my entry here at 850. I hope we do. I really hope so. Come on, let's shove it. Go to 850. E-Man I like. We just failed the 50s. So what I'd like to see is it to hold, come back, test it. And we'll see if we get that. Looks like I'm gonna get my entry, I hope. Let's see. I mean, we have resistance here in the 850s. That's why I'm hoping I get in. Like, I'd expect it to at least bounce to 850. At this point, I don't know if we're gonna get that. E-Man, we're retesting the highs, which is really good news. I'm hoping we can get up there. This is one of those plays that I would like to take a pretty nice position of. So it looks like we're now not going to test this 9s. I'm probably going to start risking red green at this point, and I want to start adding in pops. We'll see if I can get that. No comeback. Alright, so I just took it all off. don't know what the hell happened here. It just started squeezing. Okay. I'm okay with that. I didn't expect a squeeze like that. So I'm gonna see what happens, see how it acts, and then I'll readjust my plan. So I actually took another position because I think this chart is broken, but I'm risking 950s. I may get stopped out here, and I don't know, for some reason I just feel like this is a short squeeze. So I'm willing to take that, and if I'm wrong, I'll readjust and figure out later. And I'm wrong. For sure, for sure. I'm watching it. This was a short squeeze right here, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so what I'm looking for is exhaustion. If I get some exhaustion here, then I'm going to start shorting again. Especially if we get a lower high. Because we got some topping action in the 10s, I believe. Yeah, the 1020s. So we'll see what happens. We may get a shove through 10 and then a failure, so I'm watching it. That baby break through the 80s was interesting. So I started back in, and I'm risking the 90s. Pretty much the high of day. The reason for that is we broke this high and then failed it. So I'm looking to see if we can hold under and start to go back down. Because people who are buying this red-green move, they were expecting it to continue. And if we don't and we start to fail, could have that rejection back red. And if we go red, we could have a very harsh pullback because of how much volume is traded, how many squeeze. This is all shorts getting squeezed and then buyers coming in because they think it's going green. But we don't have support until really the 8s. That's almost $1.50 a share right there. So that could be a good, nice little gainer. And if we go red this time and hold it, these could even test the lows. So right now I'm in and I'm comfortable. We'll see what happens. Alrighty, hopefully we start to go red again, and then I'll be pretty nice because I'll be full size and I'll already be up pretty much $1 a share if we go red. And what I'm looking for is the lows start covering. If this breaks high a day, then I'm just going to be wrong on this and I'll be done for the day. Because it would not be an exhaustion candle. I mean, I think this is exhaustion because look at the 5 minute. It's pretty good rejection. Look at the 10 minute. Good rejection here. Reverse hammer on volume. The 15, same. 30. It's a pretty weak candle, so we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm liking this right now, this action. If it can go red, that'll be really nice. Because at that point, everyone would be underwater who bought up here. And this is a lot of volume that's going to be underwater on top of this volume right here, right? So we'll see what happens. If it doesn't go red and then we reclaim and go break high day, I'm done. But if we go red, there we go. It gives me even more conviction on this play. I'll look for the first cover. I'll take some off. Actually, no. Big picture, this is looking really nice. I want to see this at 8 before I can take anything off. And then I'll start covering down some more. I want to cover at 8-ish, a low a day, and then preferably, low 750s, sub 750s. So we'll see. This test is important too. Okay, so I'll come back to this later, but if this reclaims and holds above green red for a little bit, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then I'll get out. But right now I'm liking it, so I'm holding it and I'll come back. Hopefully it breaks this 840. I want to cover down here 820s, first piece. It's maybe sell first piece for $1 a share, maybe. I mean, I'm risking 40 cents. I at least want $1 a share minimum before I cover a piece. And I just like big picture on this. I want to hold, so we'll see. Okay, so I did cover a piece for $1 a share right here at 840, just a small piece, because I still think this has much room to go, and I'd like to cover my next piece maybe at 8, but preferably a low a day, and then hold the rest for 7s, really. We can see if we can get that, so I'm gonna try to be patient with the rest, see if we can get that. That first cover was just, it was just good to cover, because if it does recover like this again, I won't be so upset that I didn't take anything off and I didn't take a full loss. Excuse me. So I'm okay with that, and my risk is still high a day. Again, my entry is at 945. First piece covered at 840. And we'll see. We will see. Alright, so I just excuse me, I just covered some more here at 8 because support, and it is looking like it's gonna hold. I think it's gonna break, to be honest, but I just took profits because if it came all the way back, I wouldn't be happy. So it's breaking now. I have another cover. I'm covering the quarters, so I'm gonna have another cover below the low a day, so 755, which would give me about $2 a share. And then I have my last piece. What I'm hoping for is 7s, like if we can break. So we'll see. And try to be patient. Alright, so I decided to short some more right here in the 848s, 850s. So now I have an average of 71. And the good news is I'm only risking half R compared to, you know, my average. I'm risking like 10 cents. I'm risking the 80s right over VWAP. So I suggest, I mean, at this point, I like my size and I'm looking for it to continue its downward trend. I think I'll have a cover in the 825 area just to cover a piece, and then cover another piece at 8, and then start holding for the rest. So we'll see if we get that, and we'll see. Alright, so I just covered another piece right here, mainly because you can see on here that there were, well, not anymore, of course, but for a second there was a big bid stacked in here. Now, I don't like to use that as a reason to get out. I've said this before to myself, and that when I get out because of a big bid, I'm usually just tricked. See that big bid right there? But, I mean, this thing is already squeezed crazy. We had a higher low, right? Double bottom. This could be a higher low. And so, you know, my order was 25. So 10 cents above, I'll take it. And, you know, if it continues, that's fine. I still have 3/4 of my position. I'll cover another piece here and then the rest for below low a day. So we'll see what happens. But I would just hate that it didn't cover any piece and it recovers. So I did that, but I didn't cover most of my position. It's just a quarter. Now it might break. Watch how funny. We'll see. I'll let it record for a little bit. Alright, so it did break through. I would have got my execution, but I covered earlier, so another reason why I should not let the bid scare me. I should really just follow the chart, as the chart shows me that this could still go further down, and so I'm still holding 3/4 of my position and looking for 8s if I am going to cover, and below that. We'll see. Alright, this stock is freaking ridiculous. I'm done with it for now. It's definitely trending, and we're green again, believe it or not. So probably gonna get another squeeze here in a minute, and we'll see what happens, but I'm done for the day unless this sets up later. But stuck to my risk, and I don't know if I'm green on this, but I think so. I think overall either that or break even. It's pretty much ridiculous trade. So just down a little bit, but happens that way. Okay, so this is definitely frustration 101. I am short, and I'm risking this perk here because I thought I should be able to hold and not go red again, but it did go red. And I thought it was holding right here, so I took a position. Granted, it could, it looks like it's going to squeeze again and break. If it does, then I'm wrong. But I personally think we had a drop, then a squeeze, then another drop, and then a squeeze. The squeeze is weaker, but we're not high. We didn't pass this squeeze. So I'm thinking 921 is the top for this move. And I'm thinking now we're going to go down to the downside. So I'm okay with holding this, and that's my plan. And if we do continue this downside, then I'll have a good position. And eventually I could potentially risk red-green. But right now, it doesn't look too hot, but I have my stop in and we'll see. Alrighty, so as of right now, it's looking like I made the right call. I mean, we could always get a squeeze because this stock is a huge headache, but I'm glad I took my position. I'm glad I moved my risk to this 890 level because I thought if it would, look at the 5-minute, it failed on this pop, then broke lower, and I thought if it reclaimed green and broke this, I think it's done. And I was done with it, but the fact that it didn't go green, broke the low a little bit again, then attempted to go green but couldn't. I mean, it went green for a second, right? For a couple, if you go to the 1 minute, it went green for a minute and came back under and didn't go green this time and failed and broke lower. I like that sign. I'm going to keep my risk where it's at. I'm not going to add on this position. I need more of a clearer sign right now. This is just preliminary sign. I would love for this to, break 820s. I need to see something significant. Right now, I mean, it could easily come back still. I mean, we've seen it do it here. We've seen it do it here. And at this moment, it looked like it was done. I mean, like it had its last squeeze. At this moment, it looked like it was done, and then it squeezed. So you just gotta, this one's a tricky one, and trying to be careful here and keep my losses small. Overall, I think I'm down half R. Actually, I know I am. But if I lose, you know, it's worth it because this stock is up. Look how much it's up. And if it cracks today, if today's the crack day, we could see 7. And right now I'm in at, I think, an average of 866. That's $1.50 a share on any amount of shares that you can short. That's a good profit. So I could add, you know, I could add on a pop here, which I could consider, you know, if I'm gonna add, let me see on the 5-minute. If I was going to add, it might not be too bad of an idea to add and risk like the green-red area or VWAP. This last candle in the 80s, but I just want to be comfortable, and I'd rather it continue to do its thing here, because if it can break the 8s, I think we're done. I mean, if we break this 820, it's a good sign, but if we break 8, I think the stock is done. And let's zoom out here. Yeah, I do. If it breaks 8s, I think it's going to be done, and then we're going to come and test the 7s, the low 7s. So let's see if we can make that happen. You know, I had a better average before. I had a better average in the 9s, but you know, got squeezed out because I added on these pops. But that, you know, I would add every day because usually this is the end. And I thought it was going to hold green because it hold green here, hold red, and this time it didn't. But it never broke this squeeze, so that's something to keep an eye on. And so I'm thinking this time we're done. I mean, if we're not done here, it's 1:30 Eastern. We got 2.5 hours. Depending on how it sets up, it could recover. So I'm just gonna watch it. And I'm thinking about adding. I'm in a good position because now I can add. I have a smaller risk. I'm only risking like 30 cents a share, or less than that, 25 cents a share. And with size of risking 920, so it's a significant small size compared to what I wanted. I'm glad I did take full size at the time, or else this would be way smaller. So I am definitely anxious, like it's possible I want to add, but I gotta see something. This is nice, right? This little rejection and then not even going green and then coming back and breaking the low. That's nice, but I want to see something more clear, and right now I don't see that. So I'm gonna let this stock play out, do its thing, and we'll see if it gives me a great opportunity. So just sit here for a little bit, see what it does, and then I'll come back to it once it does its thing. Alright, so I'm looking at this chart and I like it a lot more now. So I would love to add on a pop in the 50s, risking somewhere up here, probably the 78, pretty much red green. So if I can get an add, I will add and hold for the end of the day. Alright, so right now I am added to my position of full size in this 850 level because this is where support was before it cracked. And I do know that it could squeeze just like before in here. So I do have a stop at 80. But you know, if it squeezes, then I'm wrong completely, right? I mean, but if we are going to be right, you know, I'm willing to take the risk. I'm willing to lose because I feel like if this does not go green and it fails, we are going to have a final confirmation and it's going to come down pretty hard. We did hold 8, which is, I guess, concerning, but I still like the big picture. I also like there's a downtrend here, descending triangle. And the big picture, descending triangle. Even bigger picture, descending triangle. So we'll see what happens. if we're right and it continues to go down, you know, I have good size now, so I can cover at 8 if I need to, and pretty much make close to my day. If it breaks and we go down further like I hope it to the 750s, we'll have a pretty great day. So risk reward is definitely there. I'm definitely part of this. Like the red day, if it holds red, we're going to see further, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to stick to this plan. If I come back, I'm either going to come back to a loss because it's going to break the high, which I'm using. Let's go to the 5 minute. You'll see this last perk up right here. It's topped out at 78, topped out at 79. Go back to 10 minute, it's also there, 10 minute, 78, 79, and then came down. So we will see, even on the 15, 79. Okay, so I'm probably going to take a loss here. You see how it's holding this 850 very well. I adjusted to 865 because it's about 40 minutes before the close. If it breaks this, there's a high chance we're just going to get a good long squeeze. I'm talking about a nice one. So at this point, you know, I'm wrong about this stock. I added right here the 850s before it did all this. You know, I added right here thinking this would hold, or at least, you know, shove back down, and we're holding. We have a lot of support. This just keeps refreshing. You see that? It's been doing that this whole time for the past, what, 30 minutes? 47. Yeah, 30 minutes. So could be a good sign it's loading up to either load up short to crap or to skyrocket. Either way, I'm sticking to my plan. I'm going to get out if it breaks the 65 area. If it doesn't, then I could be in a nice little setup. But if it does break it, then oh well. Okay, there we go. So I just took my first cover at 808. And I'm looking to cover some more if I can. Stop is still the same. Might cover some more if this 809 holds, just because this is a big volume drop and it is not continuing. There we go. There we go. Let's break 8. Let's see if we're gonna do it. Here we go. Finally, this thing is finally look like it's done. Breaking 8, which is a good sign.
CLDX. Last 27.99.
And halting down, which is great. I'll cover one. I only have a little bit of shares left, and then we'll see what happens. Alright, so it halted. It halted after it broke this low. I covered some at 808, covered some more at 780. Covered some more at 748 before the halt. I have a last piece. I'm gonna see if we can get to 7, and if we can, that would be phenomenal. So we shall see. We shall see. We definitely will see if that will work. So waiting for this to continue. So we'll see. This is what I've been waiting for all day. This little action here, like this crack. You see how quick from 850 to 750, $1 share drop, and literally, what is that? That is, these are 1 minute, 2, 3, 4 minutes. That's crazy. And if we drop further, I mean, we got 30 minutes to the close. This is where people start panicking. We just broke this. Only have 1/4 of my position. I might have unwinded a little too soon, but that's okay. I mean, I wanted to unwind some here, no problem. Some here, no problem. And I mean, $1 a share, you got to take it. So the last piece, I won at 7. See how it acts down here. If I get any kind of resistance area, I'll just cover. Good news is I can cover for $1, hopefully at the very least, but also could make some more. So we'll see what happens. I'm in the position. I'm glad I caught this because you guys have been seeing I've been in this all day, getting headaches, making some, losing some, making some, but overall I'm going to be up on this trade fairly nicely because I just followed the price action, and could easily have been wrong though, but this descending triangle too is a good sign, and it's the first red day, so we'll see what happens. It just halted about at 1528, and it is now 1531. So we got about 2-3 more minutes, depending on how long this is going to be. So I'll keep you here, just catch it. Okay, it should be opening up pretty soon here, so let's see if we get the open. And we'll see what happens. 730s. I just took the rest because I'm up $1 and it just wasn't dying as fast as I wanted. I'm just not too good at holding once it drops this fast, because usually we'll have a bounce sometimes, like there is a bounce. So I good cover, happy with that. I'm not gonna replay this because I'm just happy with how it ended. If you're liking this type of content, make sure to comment below. Let me know your thoughts and any ideas that come to your mind. Share those below as well, because those ideas can spark new ideas for me to do new types of content. On top of that, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified for future content that comes out, because I do multiple pieces of work weekly. Thanks.